Hello everybody, welcome back. Today this is going to be the first episode of my universal FPS tutorial guide, whatever. I'll figure out a name later. So today we're going to be talking about the first thing that, in my opinion, you should do whenever you're picking up a new game or starting first-person shooters in general, and that is your settings. This is really important and very, very overlooked because overall, settings have one of the biggest impacts on how much fun you have playing a game, and that's really the most important thing, is how much fun you have. So I'm going to go over what you should do to get your settings to where they should be, so where you can have the most fun and ignore the settings like you're supposed to. Alright, so the first thing that you should look at in the settings, always, is going to be the mouse. So for your mouse, there's 3 different sensitivities that you need to pay attention to. You have your physical hardware sensitivity, your Windows or operating system sensitivity, and then you have your in-game sensitivity. So if you have a gaming mouse, chances are you have a software that goes along with it that you can download, where you can change all of your stuff, but most importantly the DPI. This is where you want to go. On my mouse, I can change the sensitivity from anywhere from 50 DPI all the way up to 16,400. So the first question is, what is DPI? That's dots per inch on either a screen or a printer. The correct term is actually CPI, but for the purpose of this, I'm just going to use DPI because reasons. So, for the DPI, what you want to do is get this somewhere where it's comfortable for you. Personally, I like to have it low, around the 500 mark. Just take it around the middle of what you can do for your mouse. Put it around the middle, experiment around with it, see if that's comfortable for you on the desktop. If it's not, lower it, raise it, get it to where it needs to be. This is not a super critical step. You just want it to not be super high and not be super, super low. Anywhere from I'd say 300 to 800 is probably around your safe zone. Anything above that is just a little bit of a no-go. I'll have a link in the description for a tech quickie about DPI and what it is and some of the stuff there, and that will explain fairly well why you don't want to have your DPI just cranked all the way up on your mouse. So once you get out of that and you get that all sorted out, the next thing you want to go is into your operating system thing. In Windows, it's just under hardware and sound and then mouse right here. And then you want to go to pointer options and just make sure that this is right in the middle. If it's up higher, you might skip pixels as you move over, and if it's down lower, you might not move on the screen when your mouse moves. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal if you're just moving around on the desktop, but when you're in game and trying to line up that perfect headshot from across the map, and you move over and the mouse jumps right over their head, you try to move back and it keeps doing that. It gets a little frustrating, so it's just better to have a 1-to-1 ratio here. Then the next place you want to go is in game. Alright, so once you're in game, you want to just go to your spawner, somewhere where it's quiet and there aren't enemies shooting at you. Then what you want to do is just find a line on the ground somewhere, or something that you know is exactly 180 degrees. So for me, I have this beautiful line on the ground right here, and what you want to do is just get your sensitivity when you're standing on the line to the point where if you look in one direction and then do a 180, that should move your mouse about halfway across the mouse pad. Then for a 360, it should be pretty much all the way around your mouse pad. If you're moving more than 360 degrees on your mouse pad, then you need to go into your settings and then turn down your sensitivity. What this is going to do is it's going to force you to move your mouse more. So once you get your sensitivity down, for that, what you want to do is do the same thing again, but aim down sights. A 180, when you're scoped in, should take up 75% of your mouse pad. So, once you get that taken care of and your mouse is all sorted, what you want to do is go back into your settings and just go over your key bindings. Normally there's a page that has key bindings and then different stuff. What you want to do is make sure that everything is normal, and that nothing's like double bound, you don't have any issues like that. Some people, instead of using W, A, S, and D, will actually use E, S, D, and F, because that way it gives them a bit more keys around their fingers that they can use, so it's not just all off to the right, you can use some keys off to the left too. In general though, W, A, S, and D will be your movement, Shift will be running, Control will be crouching, C will be toggle crouch, or X. Then you'll have a melee, which I would normally bind to middle mouse button, just because that's right there all the time. And then space, of course, is jump. You'll have your basic ones. I'm not really going to cover that too well. That will be in the next episode. Once you get your basic controls down, the next thing you're going to want to do is go into the graphical settings. What you want to do is use something like Fraps or an in-game FPS counter to be able to see, for me it's down here, what your FPS is at. The first thing you need to do is figure out what your refresh rate is for your monitor. Mine is 60. So what you want to do is get your FPS to be at the same refresh rate as your monitor. That'll get rid of tearing. Lots of times in the settings there will be limiters where it will limit your FPS at a certain number. Mine is limited at 60 right now. I could unlock it if I wanted, but I don't, so yeah. So what you want to do is open up some other program, either your task manager or something like that. There's also applications that you can use to monitor your graphics card, and then just throw that over on the side. What you're going to use that for is to figure out what's your bottleneck. So what you want to do is eventually, when you're in a calm area with no fighting going on, you want it to be a rock solid 60 FPS, so it's matching your monitor. So how you do that is you can go in here and change settings. Graphics, the settings that affect textures, model quality, and lighting are usually GPU related. Ones that are physics or particles will normally be CPU. Also, players will also affect your CPU. So once you get in a big fight, it will also affect your ability to have maxed out frames. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this quick informational video. If you did, be sure and leave a like. If you didn't, be sure to I don't know. You probably didn't last this long if you didn't like it. So, with that said, if you guys want to see more of these videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Comments are greatly appreciated, even if they're ones telling me that I'm an idiot and how I can fix it. If you want to just say I'm an idiot, great, but I would prefer it if you said why too, so I could try and fix that stuff. That is all for now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep it real.